Hi guys, Mr. Chapman here. This is a first screencast on a series on Microsoft Access. We're going to be moving through a range of skills using Microsoft Access, starting with just setting up a file, and then the consequent videos will simply be working through all of the different objects that you'd need to use and become skilled in using any database system really. Microsoft Access is just one of a number of systems that are available. What you can see at the moment, I'm just in a normal Windows desktop environment. I've got a range of icons on the screen which are shortcuts to files and other programs. There's not one for Microsoft Access though, so I'll need to show you how to actually locate and get into Microsoft Access, which is one of the main reasons for this particular screencast. And the second part will be creating the file in a location where it's viewable in your particular folder, not just sitting in a random spot like on your desktop or in your documents folder. So before I actually go in and start to work with Microsoft Access, I'm going to take you into the Start menu, into Computer, and for those of you that might not be familiar, it's really important to understand where your files actually are located. So this computer view has a list of what we would call directories. And the directories are your hard drive. I have several in here set up which as a student you wouldn't see, but that doesn't matter. The main ones that you would see are C drive, which you don't want to save files to because that is the hard drive of the computer. In addition to that, you need to look for a directory that has your username in it. So you can see in my directory there is a folder called T Chapman. You will have one with your username, and there may be additional ones as well. I know that students have the secondary student shares folder, which is handy if you're accessing files that have been shared by your teachers. You may have links to CD-ROMs as well. However, in your My Documents folder, your Network My Documents folder, you should have your 10IST folder set up. So I have my 10IST 2016 folder, and I've just recently created another folder called To Database Systems, which is going to be the top level folder for all of the work that I create in this database systems unit. So what I'll be doing is actually stepping you through the process of creating a new database file and putting it into this location. So this is one that I already have set up. I'm going to delete it because I'm going to be stepping you through the process. Okay, so here we go. From Windows, we need to access the Start menu. And the easiest thing is to simply start typing in the word access, and we get a big list of results there. At the top of the list is the icon for Microsoft Access, and it's the Microsoft Office database product. There are many others. FileMaker Pro is another big one that we use, but Microsoft Access has all the tools and features that you would actually need to build anything from a simple to a very complex business database. So that's the one that we use. I'm going to click on Access. It's going to load, and it'll take me into this initial screen. And it's important to understand from the outset that Microsoft Access is a single file. It generates a single file, but within the file there can be any number of database objects, tables, queries, reports, macros, additional scripts and information. So that will be explained further in future lessons, but this particular one is simply building an empty file, giving it a name and putting it in its correct location, which is the most important thing, because after that you're simply able to access that file and then build all the other objects that you need to create. So on this screen we have two options: blank desktop database, and then there is custom web app. Now, we don't want custom web app. We're not connected to any servers and we're not delivering any services online. We want the blank desktop database. Here I have two options. The first thing, it wants to create a file called database10.accdb. Now, that file extension, accdb, is just like any other file extension, like docx for Microsoft Word document, ppt, slx for Excel, etc., etc. So that's just the file extension for Microsoft Access. So we leave that and we just give it a name. So this one's going to be called students. Students.accdb. From here, I need to then choose the correct location. So if you look under this text box, you can see it's wanting to go to my network documents folder, which is kind of it, but not really. So I actually want to drill into my 10IST folder and make sure that it goes into that Unit 2 folder that I was just talking about previously. So the next step is to browse using that little folder icon. From here, easiest thing is to go to computer in my big menu of directories here. Go and find my T Chapman folder. You'll be finding yours obviously. And scroll down the million folders that I have. 10IST 2016, Unit 2 database systems. That folder is currently empty, so this will be the only thing that's in there for the time being, but that's fine. And I just do a double check. So the file name is students.accdb, which is correct. The type is the more recent version of Microsoft Access database. It's going to the correct folder, so I'm happy. So I click OK to that. It takes me back to this window and I simply click Create. Okay, this environment will be new to most, if not all of you, and I'll be going through the basics of constructing a database in future videos. So I'll finish the video here, but what you should do when you have actually gone through this process is simply close out of Microsoft Access and then go in and look at your folder and make sure that that file is there. So I'll just go ahead and do that now. Just using keys to make the process a bit quicker. Okay, there it is. I'm happy with that. It's the correct name, it's the correct type, and it's in the correct location. So that's the first thing that you need to practice and make sure that you can do correctly. Okay, thanks for watching.